Hi there, hope you're doing well today and welcome back to Valheim.
First episode of the new year. Very exciting. Today I'd like to focus mostly on exploring, but before I do that, I of course have a trophy to sacrifice. Oh, by the way, I'm a little sick, so if I sound like tired or anything, then that's why. Anyways, here we are. Just gotta put this little trophy in my hand and hang it up. God, the effects in this game are just so killer.
The Elder, faster woodcutting. This is probably my favorite ability in the game.
As somebody who builds a lot, it is very, very helpful. Oof, it's nice to finally be back. I haven't slept in my own bed in way too long.
What the heck just happened? Day 35 anyway.
Okay, so with that out of the way, as I was saying earlier, I want to chart the world. I'm mostly looking out for more biomes and more materials and stuff like that, but I was also thinking that about this time in the game I should probably be looking for a more permanent home. Don't get me wrong, I of course love this place, but it's becoming just a tiny bit too far away from everything else to make living here make sense, basically. Now before I get to actually exploring, I wanted to build a little dock to set off from. And as usual, I need a lot more wood than I have, so I'm gonna put this Elder ability to good use real quick. Alright, well here's what I got after 5 minutes with the Elder. I don't really plan to build this dock super big, so this should definitely be enough for now. You know, I was going to take down all these Yuletide decorations, but I actually think it would be kind of a cool little time capsule if I kept them here once I move. Anyway, off to bed. Again. Day 36. Okay, it is dock building day. Just gotta haul all this stuff down to shore. And here we are. Now, the question is, where exactly do I want to build this thing? So I think I want to put the dock right in this area here. I just need to clear out some of this stuff. Get rid of this log here. Gonna use the path in function to clear out a couple of these reeds. That should be good. And I'll just move the boat over here for now. Okay, so I have pretty much zero plans for this place, but I think I have an idea for how I want this to look, so we're just gonna roll with that. So my thinking for this is to start out with something fairly simple and then add on a couple little bits and bobs here and there as I go. I don't really want to make this thing too super fancy, but I do think a little bit of intrigue here and there will be a good balance. Okay, so here is the starter shape we're working with. I'd say it's pretty interesting. Next up, I want to do walls and railings. Now this little area here is going to be some sort of work shed. I'm just going to be putting the workbench and maybe a couple storage boxes over here. There we go, that'll do it. I don't even think this really needs a purpose here, I just want to fill in this area a bit more. Next I can do some more of the railings. And I'm going to put in this little trim thing on the bottom because I think it'll look really neat once the dock is in. There's all the railings in, and you know what? I just had an idea. Let me try something quick. What if I did something like this? I like that a lot. That looks super cool. Now I just need to do it for all the other railings. Give me a sec. Yeah, that looks really nice. What an upgrade. I've yet to actually put a dock on my dock, so I'm going to do that really quick. Now, I'm not exactly too sure how far out I want it to go. That actually looks pretty good right there. Let me put in some of the supports and see how that looks. God, can I just say the snapping mechanic really makes placing things underwater a whole lot easier. That used to be a much bigger struggle. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good distance here. I think if I go too much farther out, it'll end up looking a bit too long. Like, yeah, that's a lot right there. I'll stick to this. This looks really good. Now, I'm going to continue this trim all the way out through the end of the dock because, God, that looks so cool. I'm not going to be putting any railings on this dock, but should I put the little poles sticking up like that? I think I like that, actually. Yeah, that works really well. I like that a lot. Let me quickly go sleep so you guys can actually, like, see stuff. Day 37. It's a rather foggy morning, Jeebus. Oh, you know what? Walking up to this area makes me realize I should probably put on some railings on the stairs here as well. There we go. I think that looks nice. Anyways, I've got one last thing I think I want to try adding to the actual main structure of this dock, and that is some sloped pieces like so. See, that looks super, super cool. The only thing is there's those little nobules sticking up out of the edges there. That doesn't look too super bad or out of place, but it does seem just a little bit weird. And here's my solution for that problem. Now I just gotta add the slopes on the rest of the dock. And there we go. There's the cross beams on the rest of the dock. I didn't put them on the front because I actually kind of like the way it looks, being able to see all the way through underneath. I think it's kind of cool. So I think that does it for the actual main structure of the dock. I just wanted to put down a couple more decorations quickly. The main thing I wanted to put in was a little chair right here for maybe somebody to sit down and fish, or just enjoy the beautiful sunrise. I can't really blame them either. This is gorgeous. And with that as well, I wanted to add a bench somewhere. I think the best place for it would actually be right here. Yeah, we'll do that. That looks nice. Now over on this side here, I wanted to add some sort of cargo that maybe somebody took off of a ship. And I really wish you could put like barrels or crates, like the ones that are normally in those carts. But the best I've got right now for cargo is these wood stacks, so I'm just gonna place one right in this corner here. You know, maybe I could put some storage boxes around here at some point, but I am just about completely out of wood, actually, so I don't really have the ability to do that right now. So, now that the dock is all built, that means it's just about time to set out on my great journey. Not that great journey, though. I'm not the prophet of truth. I'd quite like the galaxy to stay intact. So before I set out, I have just a couple things I want to do very quickly. Firstly, I've been neglecting my farm plot, so I'm gonna pluck all these carrot seeds and plant them back as carrots so that they can grow while I'm out on my journey. And there we go, a fully planted field of carrots. You're not getting any. What do you get out of here? And I could also do with a couple more arrows since I used up the rest of mine during the Elder fight. So I'm just going to craft a couple stacks of flint head and fire arrows. That should probably do me well. And I'd like to avoid sailing at night, so I'm going to head off to bed a little early today. Oh my god, look at how beautiful. Okay, so it is now the morning of day 38, and I am just about ready to set out and chart a bit more of this world that I've got. I did a little bit of exploring of these northern shores on my way back from the Elder, but I think I want to check out down here. I saw a pretty sizable piece of land and I have a really good feeling about it, so I'm going to start by exploring down south. As I said earlier, my main goal in this journey is just to kind of map a lot of the shorelines and keep an eye out for more biomes and materials. So let's get to it. I like this little dock, it's so cool. Feels very cozy. Look at the size of that fish! Oh my god, that thing's huge. If only I had a fishing pole. Oh, I actually got wind on my side now. Sweet. Thank you, Odin, wherever you are. I do appreciate it. So seeing as sailing isn't exactly the most exciting thing in the world, here's a little rundown of everything that happened during my first part of this journey. So after just a bit of sailing, I found that land I was searching for. It seemed to be mostly meadows, so I followed the wind west until I found some black forest. And by some black forest, I mean the biggest black forest I have ever seen. This entire shore is black forest, it's crazy. Then of course the wind changed on me, so I started sailing back east to chart the opposite side of the island. Still really holding out hope for a swamp somewhere on this land. That would be very, very nice. Because so far the closest swamp I've got is up here, I believe. Which isn't terrible. I'd just like some right here. You know, I'm thinking about it now. I am gonna miss my current location. I also just realized I don't even have a name for it. I'll have to think of something before I actually leave. Look at that troll. He just picked up a piece of dirt and ate it. You know, it's getting pretty close to night, so I'm just gonna hole up in this little tower for the night, I think. You know, it's a bit ramshackle, but I guess it'll do. Gonna need just a little bit of wood, though. Get out of here, you nasty thing. Get some stone as well for a fire. Oh wow, perfect amount. Thank you so much. Perfect. Now, can I actually sleep here? There are enemies nearby. Where? Oh my god. That's scary. That's actually really scary. Was that the only enemy? I'm wet. This is scary. Oh no. Okay, I should be able to sleep now. There we go. Ooh, okay. Day 39. You know, I'm actually going to pack up all this stuff just in case I need another makeshift sleeping arrangement. And I'm going to repair my boat while I'm here because it could definitely use it. You know, I don't want like some big sea serpent coming and biting my boat when it's half health. Alright, off I go. Thank you, shed tower thing. I appreciate my temporary board. Yeah, that is orange. I don't mind it though, I'm a big fan of warm colors, so looks like there might be more black forest over here as well. Never mind, it's super tiny. Look at that little bay area. That's actually a super cool place for a little dock. You could actually build like a whole pier there. Oh, yes, look at that. Those are some pretty swampy looking trees if you ask me. You know, I can hardly see with like the sun glaring in my face, but it looks pretty sizable. I want to avoid getting too super close. I don't really want to go into the swamp until I'm ready to go into the swamp. Oh, and there's more over there too. I think that's all swamp. You see that really low land that stretches across all that? I think that's all swamp. That is so nice. There's actually a good chunk of swamp down here. This is great. As I said, I don't want to go into the swamp yet, so I'm just going to map the rest of this little southern shoreline here. You know, I'm actually going to park right here and do a bit of scouting inland, see if I can maybe find a nice place to build. Oh my god, this valley is gorgeous. Look at this place. Oh my god. Dude, look at this valley. Oh, it's beautiful. This is like almost exactly what I'm looking for. There's another beehive here as well. See if I can snipe this. Wow. Good shot. Yeah, you know what? I think this is it. I think this might be the place where I permanently reside. This entire open stretch here is just like so beautifully perfect. Way too beautifully perfect to pass up. And it's also like super close to Black Forest. An absolutely ginormous Black Forest. Which is great because I still have a lot of bronze gear I need to upgrade. This whole land here is like nearly perfect. I'm still hoping for some mountains, maybe somewhere a bit further inland, but if there are none here, then that's also fine because by the time I even get to the mountains, I'll have much better ships with much more storage. So that'll mostly make up for the really long distances and tons of travel that will be necessary for it. And that's even if there are no mountains on this land. I have absolutely no clue. I'll have to do a lot more exploring inland. I get a sense that this chunk of land is absolutely massive, just from what I've seen of it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is frolic around in these fields a bit more, look for the perfect house location, put a little marker down, and then I think I'm going to head home and actually start preparing to make my move. I honestly was not expecting to get to the point of wanting to move so quickly, but this area is just like perfect. So after just a little bit of running around, I think I want to place my house somewhere in this little V here, along this forest. I really like the look of this area. It's nice, it's flat, it's got a lot of room to expand, and it's a lot closer to the Black Forest. But over here on this side of the V, it's got a much nicer view of this entire open meadows area, which I really like the look of. It's not as open, so expanding could be a little bit difficult with all of these hills and ups and downs. And it's also a good bit further away from the Black Forest, which would require even more carting back and forth for metals. But I honestly don't really personally mind that too much. What I'm going to do for now is just put down a little marker right here for new home, and I'll think about it more thoroughly once I come to actually settle. But right now it's night and very dark, oh my god. So I'm going to head back down to my ship and sail myself back home. I'm so lucky, this world is great. This is a random gen world. It's beautiful. Might be the best I've ever played on. Alright, awesome, going directly against wind. This is going to take absolute ages. I'm so happy that there was any swamp down here, but there actually seems to be a very decent amount of swamp down here too, which is just great. I am so happy with how this little charting adventure turned out. I found pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Again, I feel very lucky. This is like deeply terrifying right now, but somehow extremely calming at the same time. It's so chill out here. Very much the same vibes as like going fishing at 4 o'clock in the morning when it's still dark out. It's such a similar feeling to this. It seems to be getting morning now. Very nice. Oh, I seem to be scraping now. Very bad. Day 40. Wow. I just realized I'm pulling into the complete wrong place. I gotta turn around. Yeah, I think I was a little too focused on the sunrise and day 40 and all that. Got myself a little distracted. Okay, this is where I turn in. This is my stop. You know, I am such a big fan of just how cozy this little dock is. It's so nice. Okay, first things first, set my spawn point. I do not want to be spawning all the way up at spawn. Now I get to organize this mess of my inventory. Give me just a second. And there we go. Much better. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, that was way more productive than I was expecting it to be. So productive that now I'm just like super eager to move to that new place. That said, I do need to prepare, so next episode I think I'm gonna do just a ton of prep before I actually officially make the move. The main thing I need to do is set up portals. Now, I haven't touched portals yet on this world, and honestly I was kind of waiting for this moment to actually start using them. Besides the portal stuff though, I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping in my entire area just to tidy it up a little bit and put that nice final little bow on this area before I head out. So that's what we'll be doing next time, and then by episode 10 I expect I'll be just about ready to move out. But until then, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.